come to the current politics. Let's say between Democrats and Republicans, who do you think are
Okay.
more religious oriented?
The ones that say that they are the Republicans, but I think there's just as many Democrats.
So do you
Or
think they,
well,
do you think they are religious? Republicans are religious in nature?
I think what happened was in the '80s with Pat Buchanan and I think it was Pat Buchanan um, had this program he called the Moral Majority, where he believed that the majority of people in America were Christian and therefore moral, and they were the ones that were taken back to their country. And since the '80s, religion and politics have become so entwined. A lot of the issues that they have that are hot button issues now have to deal with religion in some form. Abortion, for example, or um, well, not the gun things. Not the guns crazy. I don't know where that comes from. But self-determinism and individualism, those kind of things, that or they're coming to take your First Amendment there, because what was I saw the other day? It was on. It wasn't Rick Wiles' show. There was a guest on one of these TV shows, like on Thursday or something, and he said if Joe Biden wins the election, then they're going to, what was it? They're going to come in and they're going to murder conservatives and they're going to ban all the churches for some reason.
Yeah, but when American Constitution says no to religion, let's say it can't interfere with religion, can political parties interfere with religion or use religion as a bait for winning elections?
They can, yeah. They do it all the time, actually. That in their rhetoric, they'll say, God, guns, and country.
So,
They use religion
okay,
all the
so
time.
don't they have any kind of an let's say don't we have any kind of limitation on what to use in elections and what not to use in elections?
Yes. I'm trying to think of what the restrictions would be. I think if you can go up to the legal limit of the free speech, you can say something like, my opponent is opposed to gay rights, or my opponent is a deplorable person. My opponent is Sleepy Joe. All right.
Right.
You can say those kind of things. But I think if you actually slander yourself, slander being where you say something that is completely untrue and it damages the reputation of the other person, I don't think they can do that. I think that would be a legal thing that would prevent them from being able to say it's got to be untrue. Now, if somebody actually did the thing, the truth is the absolute defense. If you actually did the wrong thing, then yeah, they can say it all they want. But if it's something that's like, my opponent raped 15 10-year-olds or whatever, then no, you would be able to say that. As far as religion goes, yeah, they can twist it any way they want to.
Let's say
The political party.
yeah, let's say if religion is not, let's say, implied or anything in the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
let's say we hear a lot of stories about the family in Washington, where the family is controlling the United States presidents or governors, and they are trying to push their agenda into the government. Like I heard a lot of stories about Duck Cow, and so is it legal? Is it good or is it bad?
When you say the family, you
The
mean?
family is the Duck
Oh,
Cow, yeah, the Christian family, the Fellowship Church, and all that.
yeah, I read that story, but it's been like 5 years since I read about them.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about it since.
So do you
I mean,
think
maybe there still are.
the religion will make an impact in 2020 elections in October, coming October?
I I don't feel that's the case. Maybe a little bit with some people. I think
Okay.
some people will be using a religion, but they're afraid of something else. Like they're afraid that if Joe Biden becomes president, then he'll ban all churches, for example. Or what my mom told me, um, she said that if Joe Biden becomes president, she saw an article or heard somebody tell it to her that everybody would become that Joe Biden would make everybody become Islamic.
But Joe Biden himself is a Christian, as far as I know.
Yeah, he's
Isn't
Catholic.
it?
Yeah,
So why
yeah,
would a
he's a Catholic.
Christian why would a Christian want other people to become Islam?
Well, no, it's not that you want. No, no, no. See, that's the way. That's what she misunderstood, and that's what the right websites were saying was that that's what he wanted. That's not exactly what he said or what he meant. Politicians pander. They say to the crowd that they're talking to what they want to hear, In this case, he was talking to a crowd of Muslim Americans, and he was saying, just sort of wistfully, you know, I wish we would teach more about Islam in our schools. And then he moved on to something else. But they
But,
took that quote. Hmm?
but don't you think Joe Biden did a wrong thing by saying that? Because number one, let's say if United States is a religion-free country where a person has rights to practice his own religion or not practice any religion at all as per Constitution,
Hmm.
why are we teaching religion in schools?
We don't teach them in a devotional way. Religion can be taught in an informative way, such as um, in such and such date this book was written. But you can't teach it that if you don't believe this, you're going to burn in hell. Because we can teach comparative religion, and it's a way that I support actually to learn the differences between people.
So
To
Joe
learn,
Biden
hey,
essentially wants people to learn about religion, but not let's say how the religion is born and all that, but not so
yeah,
much about giving the
yeah, how
practice or anything
yeah,
like that.
what the practices are, what the cultures are, what the culture is, what the traditions are, what somebody might think if you do this, what the taboos are, and not so much this is the absolute truth in this religion, and we want you to have to follow this, and this is the only one.